Hey there, nature enthusiasts! Welcome to another episode of Nature's Numbers. So, in this episode, we'll be looking at the mathematics behind the shapes and patterns that we see in nature, and specifically focusing on the three themes of drops, dynamics, and also daisies. And it is from the book Nature's Numbers by the author himself, Ian Stewart. He is a renowned mathematician and an author of numerous books on mathematics and sciences. So, let's get this and move on.
Hi! When we think of mathematics, we might imagine numbers, equations, or graphs. But what if I told you that math is all around us, in the natural world, in the way drops of water fall, how populations grow and change over time, and in the patterns of petals on flowers? Stewart's book gives us three examples. That's crazy. Three examples of the way apparently simple phenomena in nature derived from stupefying complexity. What exactly happens when a drop of water falls off a tap? Computer modeling of the growth of fox and rabbit populations. Why petals on flowers are arranged in numbers derived from the Fibonacci sequence. We all know that. We studied that, you guys. We'll know more about it as we dive in on chapter 9, Drops, Dynamics, and Daisies by Ian Stewart, Q&A. So, let's get started.
Welcome to Nature's Numbers Q&A. Today, we'll be answering questions about Nature's Numbers, Chapter 9 by Ian Stewart, focusing on the theme, drops. When you think of a raindrop, what comes to your mind? A teardrop, right? However, according to Ian Stewart, the actual shape of a raindrop is actually somewhat different. In fact, it's not just the raindrops but all the drops. Drops are common and seemingly simple occurrence in our everyday lives. For example, we see them at the tip of the leaves after a rain shower, at the edges of the cup, and even at the bathroom sinks. But drops have a hidden complexity that makes them a fascinating subject for a mathematical investigation. It has a unique structure and behavior. In the book, he studied it in a great mathematical detail. He began by basing it on the photograph of the process of a water drop from the end of the tap by the mathematician Howell Peregrine and colleagues of the Bristol University. It was discovered that the formation of the water drop is not instantaneous, but instead it goes through a series of stages. The first stage is the formation of a tiny bulge at the end of the tap, which grows and it becomes a globe-shaped drop. The drop then detaches from the top and falls through the air until it hits a surface or another drop, at which point it breaks apart into smaller droplets.
Now, we'll be moving on with dynamics. But before we proceed, I got a joke for us. How do you improve your archery? Of course, with better aerodynamics. That said, dynamics is a long tradition of mathematical modeling in which differential equations represent changes in the populations of interacting organisms. Yes, there is. The population dynamics in which changes in the populations of interacting creatures are represented by differential equations. Pig or truffle was an example. However, there is a lack of biological realism in such models, and not just as regards my chosen creatures. In the real world, the mechanism that governs population sizes is not a law of population. It is Newton's law of motion. The flower daisy symbolizes purity and innocence. And did you know that in Ian Stewart's study of flower daisy, it is a part of Fibonacci sequence, which are 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, and 89.
I think this will answer your curiosity. For example, genes. Genes tell plants how to make chlorophyll, but they don't tell the plants what color chlorophyll has to be. If it's chlorophyll, it's green, then there's no choice. So some features of the morphology of living creatures are genetic in origin, and some are consequence of physics, chemistry, and the dynamics of both. One way to tell the difference is that genetics influences have enormous flexibility, but physics, chemistry, and dynamics produce mathematical regularities.
So in general, the arrangement of those features is laid down right at the start as the primordial form. So basically, all you have to do is explain why you see spiral shapes and Fibonacci numbers in the primordia itself. First step is to realize that the spirals most apparent to the eye are not fundamental. The most important spiral is formed by considering the primordia in their order of appearance. Primordia that appears earlier migrate further, so you can deduce the order of appearance from the distance away from the apex. What you find is that successive primordia are spaced rather sparsely along a tightly wound spiral called the general spiral. The human eye picks out the Fibonacci spirals because they are formed from primordia that appear near each other in space. But it is a sequence in time that really matters. And that said, that is what interesting about the primordia.
And that is what makes Chapter 9 by Ian Stewart's Nature by Numbers amazing, and this video is made possible by the great people behind this. Chapter 9 of Nature's Numbers provide a fascinating glimpse into the world of fluid dynamics, drop behavior, and ecological interactions. It showcases the complexity and beauty of nature's interconnected systems and how they impact our daily lives. He emphasizes how mathematics can offer insights into the natural world that might not be immediately apparent. So, I hope you learned something, and see you next time, guys. Bye!